Hi, this is Sunday. Today I thought I would do an impromptu training on creating your vision. So give me a second and let me share it to make sure it's showing up on the live, and then we're going to get started. This training actually shouldn't take very long, but it's intended to explain the worksheet that I uploaded to you all earlier, which
Hi,
is
this is Sunday. We're going to get started.
Okay, so I think we should be, I don't want to be playing Facebook Live and hearing my voice while I'm talking. So, all right, let me make sure that it's actually streaming on Facebook. I always love when I overextend the technology bigger than me. Okay, so if you're on, please announce so that I can say hi to you. And then we're going to get started. Hi, Diana. Hi. How are you? Okay, so let me see if I can get my computer going so I can also show you, I can also see your comments at the same time, but that may be too much. That may be too much for me. So let's see how this goes. Okay, great. So we are streaming that live. Yes, I totally understand what it's like to be busy. But here, that's sort of how I feel today because this was not a scheduled training. So I am a little bit rushed. I actually have another training that I need to do and the challenge after this. So I'm doing double training today. All right, so let's get started. And if you are watching the replay, you'll be able to see it. And hold on, let me just make sure that I share my screen. I always love Zoom when, oh, there it is. Okay, let me share my screen and then we can get started. Okay. All right, so hopefully you can see, let me make sure, looking on my phone to see that you guys can see my screen, and then we are ready to go. This is actually one of my really favorite topics, which is really about like strategic planning and really getting to understand, why are you in business? Who are you servicing? What do you expect to get out of your business in the short term and the long term? This is one of my favorite topics. So I'm super excited to be delivering this. This is actually my week. So when I think about, okay, we've just finished, week one, we did the travel niche. I was super excited about that because I really like getting down to the nitty gritty of why you guys, who you want to service and what it is that you want to service. That's really fun. And then, you sort of get into week two where we talked about all of the particulars of setting up your business, what type of organization are you going to be, make sure that you file with the city and the state. That's sort of the administrative rigor or more that goes with setting up any business, but that's a one-time thing and you're done, right? This stuff that we're going to be learning this week and next week is going to be repetitive, right? You're going to learn it. It's going to be hard and it's going to be clunky, but the more you do it, the more easier, I don't know if that's the correct English, but the easier it's going to get over time for you to do it. When you think of business vision, this exercise, I'm going to tell you, is going to feel very uncomfortable. It's not going to be as easy, but I promise you, the more you think about it and the more you talk about it, the more that you say it, it will become second nature to you, your business, and everyone that comes in contact with you. And that's where I want you to go. So bear with the uncomfortable feeling and the strange looks that you're going to have in your head and on your face when I start talking about this. But I promise you, once you get through this pain, it's going to be easier to talk about with your business vision, because you will have adopted it, you will have embraced it, and it will be your new mantra for your business. Everything that you operate and everything that you do will be surrounded around this vision. So hopefully you guys are ready to get started. So, hey, Brianna, hey, Tanisha, and hi, Diane. Some of my favorite ladies are on today, so I'm super excited that you guys are able to join me live because you know how much I love to deliver the content and then get your Q&A. So I'm going to go through the content, and then I'm going to, answer any questions that you guys have. We can step through your own business vision, your own ideas based on this, but I uploaded the file to the group, so you guys should have the file. This also, I'm a little behind in updating the Marketing Boss Academy, but by the end of the week, you'll have week 2 and week 3 content in the Marketing Boss Academy for you to refer to, in the future, or however you need to do. There is a little mini quiz at the end of each module in the Marketing Boss Academy. So week 2, like I said, that will be up and running. And then week 3 will be up as well. So the little 2 mini quizzes will be available by the end of the week. All right. If you guys don't have, and my other favorite lady, Z. So I think we've got all of my favorite gals on live today. So that's great. I'm super excited to have you guys on. All right. So each of you guys should have a copy of the file. I uploaded it onto the group earlier, probably about an hour ago. So this document that I'm going to go through in this training is available and up on the file right now. Okay, if you don't see it, just let me know, and actually just go to the file section in the group and you will be able to see it. Okay, all right, so let's get started. I have about a good hour and 15 minutes to deliver this and then answer any questions, and then I've got a skedaddle to get to the 5-day challenge for our prospective agents. But if you have any other questions that I'm not able to answer during the course of this training, you know that you can ping me, post them in the group, ask the questions, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so again, maybe some difficult concepts for you guys, but I want you to bear through this and get through this. The first and foremost is it doesn't matter what you do in business. It doesn't matter what your business is. Your job as an entrepreneur is to sell a transformation. Your job is to make sure you understand what your prospective customer is going to get at the end of the day, right? What are they going to receive by the use of your product or service, or by the consumption, by wearing it, experiencing it, whatever. It's your job to sell that experience. It's not the consumer's job to figure out what their end result is. They're buying how well you sell it. So let me give you an example of what that means. And that's what this first step is all about, is we are in the business of travel. We are in the business of selling amazing travel experiences in our niche, right? So if, let's say, my niche, and this is my niche, right? I am selling group cruises, right? Either as individual packages or as a group experience, right? I can put together for your group an amazing cruise experience that your group is going to walk away with, not having to worry about what activities they're going to do, not having to worry about, their food, their entertainment. all of their fun is going to be in one central location because that's what I provide when I sell cruises, right? So the destinations, they're going to be able to get off the boat and they're going to be able to experience, water activities. They're going to be able to experience adventure tours. They're going to be able to experience shopping. They're going to be able to experience, sightseeing, right? I can create a girls trip, right? So depending on who I'm talking to will be the type of experience that I'm selling, right? And so you are going to have to get in the habit of being able to talk about the experience. You don't just sell cruises, right? You sell amazing water experiences, right? That allow you to provide all-inclusive trips that are no-brainers, right? No activity planning, all of it is available to you in one place, right? That's what a cruise experience is about, right? You get to go to these amazing exotic places, all inclusive, no worries, no fuss, no muss. Your entire family, your entire group, or whoever it is that's traveling can go, right? That is what I've just explained to you is the cruise experience, right? Whatever your niche is, right? I think Z, you're doing family. Tanisha, you guys have to remind me. It's been a couple of weeks since we talked about travel niche. So tell me what your travel niche is, and then we'll plug in those experiences. But this is what this step is about you describing what you expect your customers to feel like after their trip or during their trip, right? What is the end result that they are going to do, right? Are they celebrating something? Are they trying to get away from, something and experience a no-brainer, no fuss experience? Everything is planned for them, or an experience where all they get to do is drink. So if you're talking to me as your customer, right? All you have to do is tell me Sunday, right? I can plan a trip for you. You don't have to worry about the accommodations. You don't have to worry about food for your family, accommodations or entertainment, and it's unlimited access to liquor. You've sold me, right? Because what I love is all of those things, not having to plan, not having to worry about what my kids are going to do. All I have to do is worry about getting there, right? And paying for it. So if all of the planning is out of my control, I don't have to worry about that. You're going to tell me the price. You're going to tell me where I show up. And all I have to do is bring my family and they're going to be fully entertained, not asking me to get up early and drive them somewhere. You've sold me, right? That's because that's the type of customer I am. What kind of customer are you trying to sell to? What's going to be important to them, so that when you're talking to them about the transformation, you can speak their language, all right? So what I need you guys to do is tell me if this is making sense, right? Understanding what the end result of using your travel services, what that is like, does that make sense to you guys? Or do you need some more explanation? You have to forgive me. Like, I just had some chips and guacamole, like right before I got on live. So I got chips all over my mouth. So I'm moving my lips a little bit crazy. So this needs to be interactive. You guys have got to communicate and let me know that this is making sense to you and you guys are okay with where it is. Because if not, I'll take some examples and we'll go through an example for it. Makes sense. Good, Diane. Perfect. All right, Tanisha, you are group cruises, Jamaica, and Disney. Let's take the Disney experience, right? In this step one, in the Disney, you're going to put Disney and then you're going to put, right, the end result is that your customers are going to experience Disney, right? You are going to plan Disney vacations for your customers without them having to figure out what parks they're going to go to. You're going to have the itinerary set up. You're going to have accommodations, food. You're going to create this Disney experience for them like no other without them having to do all the planning for that. Disney, I remember actually, I was working at a company and we were doing training I'm a certified project manager, and we were doing training. And one of the trainings that we did is we did a project plan on planning a Disney trip. And by golly, Disney is like complicated as excuse my language. It is complicated as God knows what, right? And Disney is not for the faint at heart. you are going to plan Disney for someone, that means you are taking all this guesswork that all is, right? Disney, right? What are the age groups of your customers, right? Are you doing a princess, princess plan, right? What is it that you're going to specialize in Disney? Disney is huge, right? There's a couple of centers, right? Are you trying to do families with young kids? Are you doing Disney for adults? Because there are people who are adults that do it. Again, you need to describe in this experience what they're going to get when they use your services, right? An all-inclusive plan, no worry, tickets inclusive, food inclusive, hotel accommodations. What is it that they're going to get with you, right? Because I want you to think about this, ladies. The travel industry sells itself, but it's highly competitive, right? So how are you going to make your services stand out from the other Disney providers, right? Or the other Jamaica specialists, right? What are you going to be doing uniquely? And what is that special experience that you're going to touch, right? Are you going to be following up with your customers? Are you going to be following up prior to their trip, right? Are you going to give them white glove service? What is that experience that you want your customers to have? All right, so you guys said it makes sense. So let's go to step 2. All right, so step 2 is your unique delivery of your results, right? So I just alluded to that a minute ago, which is there are just in my organization and my host agency, I want to say there's over 25,000 agents, right? So there's 25,000 agents in my host agency alone, right? And so each of us are independent agents, right? With their own agency, we are creating a brand for ourselves. And so in the definition of a brand, you've got to set yourself apart. Your largest competitor is probably not another travel agency. Your competitor is do-it-yourself, right? Is do-it-yourself people who are accustomed to booking their own travel, searching and combing the internet and booking their own travel, right? Your unique delivery is, right, reduction of that research time, right? Delivery of options probably to your customers that allows them to quickly understand what their price is, what their features are, and what they're going to get, right? That's what you provide. That's just a couple of examples of what you provide. But what is going to set you apart from them doing it themselves and another travel agency? That's what you need to define. If you don't know what that is, this is where your work is going to be, ladies. You need to be able to. So I'm going to tell you, for me, right? I'm, peeling back my onion while I'm doing this training, and I keep coming up with, okay, from a travel agency perspective, what is it that I want to do? Because I don't want to take bookings for everybody. Like, I don't want people calling me up on the phone and say, I want to go to Houston. Can you book me a flight? No, I'm not interested in doing that, right? Go to my booking site. Go, that literally is because that's not my ideal customer. My ideal customer is one of two people. My ideal customer is a group of women or a family who is ready to book a cruise, and they want to book either 8 rooms or greater. Right? That is how I will market people, or I will create those cruise packages, and I'm creating a group of women and family members who will want to adopt into that, right? So that is my unique selling position, is that I am creating a specialized group of individuals who want to group travel, and I'm going to create pre-packages for them. So that's a unique selling, right? I'm not going to have every Joe Blow call my agency and ask me to book, because when I'm on my website, they're going to see that you're joining a group, right? You're either joining a group or I'm booking for a group, because that's what I do. I'm very clear about who my client is and how I'm going to deliver that service, right? So that service that I'm delivering, what makes me unique is I'm going to book accommodations for girls only and for their families, right? I'm going to do specialized trips just for families, and then specialized trip just for girls. I've already sent it out to my girlfriends, and I've already got, 6 of my girlfriends, and even some people I don't know who've decided to adopt it. That's my unique position, right? What's your unique position? What is it that you are going to do in your travel agency that's going to make you unique? one, not only unique, but two, identify who your customer is, right? Who is it that you're trying to sell to? Because you are not trying to sell to everybody. You are not trying to sell travel services to everybody. I promise you, you're not. If you are, stop. Like, you don't want to do that because you're going to drive yourself crazy. You're not going to be in your special zone of genius. You're not going to be focused in your niche. And that's what we want. We want you to know what your niche is, who is the customer that is going to benefit from that niche, and what makes you stand apart as that niche provider. Okay. Hopefully that one makes sense too. So this is really about you looking inwardly about what you're going to do differently from every other Joe Blow who's in this niche, and understanding who your customer is, right? So you're speaking again. This is really about your business, what you're doing, and how you're setting yourself apart. Hey, Kiera, nice to have you on. We're on step 3. All right, so quantify your results. This one is kind of a hard one for most people to do, but let me talk about vision, right? When I actually sat down and I thought about, okay, I want to service groups, right? Groups is still pretty broad, right? I know that my client is a woman, right? Who is usually the planner in her family, right? So my client is a woman who has a family, and she is desiring to, she does the family trip planning. That woman is me, right? So I'm actually that woman. So I'm actually looking for other women when I'm out in the marketplace who plan their family trips, right? She wants to have family trips, and she wants to have girl trips, and she may want to have, bae trips, right? Her and her bae, right? So those are 3 different types of services that I will be offering: is the bae trips, the couple trip, and the family trip in a group setting, right? So when I quantify that is that I'm not necessarily just doing groups, right? I've specified that I'm looking for females, and I want females who plan for their family, right? So that's quantifiable, right? It's identifiable. I'm not looking for all females in the world. I'm actually looking for women of color, right? So even when I market, I'm going to be looking for specific types of women when I market, right? So I'm looking for women of color who plan their trips, right? So you want to be very specific. Again, you don't want to plan travel for everybody who ever had a passport. You don't want to plan trips for every type of family member that exists, Z, right? You may think you do, but you don't, right? What types of families do you want? Blended families, that are big, giant groups of families, extended families. What kind of families? I want you to be very specific about that. What is it that you're doing? And are you focused on event planning? Let me be more specific. Are you focused on event trip planning? So around special occasions, right? Anniversaries, birthdays, or just because vacations, right? It's summertime and it's time for a vacation, right? Quantify the results that you're doing, because this quantification is going to help when we get to marketing next week. Because I'm going to tell you, Facebook is amazing. I don't know if you guys were watching the news last week, but even if you watch this in replay or in, sometime in the future, Zuckerberg, I call him Zuckerberg because I really believe Mark Zuckerberg is my BFF. He has created a platform that I believe has empowered entrepreneurs to the state of, meganess, right? I am able to become a mega star entrepreneur because of the Facebook platform and social media, and the fact that he infringes on our personal privacy rights, right? By combing all this data about our behavior, which allows me to advertise against it at cheap rates, right? And that's a whole nother thing I'm going to get into in marketing next week. But what I will tell you is from a quantification perspective is, let's say you decide that when you are doing